On Sunday, a judge upheld a New York City policy that barred children with diseases that are preventable with vaccinations from public school, taking a shot at the anti-vaccination movement. On Monday, it was announced on BPR that on July 1st, the Safe Carry Protection Act will go into effect and will allow Georgians to take their weapons into many areas previously restricted as gun-free, being considered the most pro-gun law passed this year. Citizens will be allowed to take guns into bars and churches as long as they have permission from the establishment. School personnel, such as teachers and janitors, will be allowed guns in school as long as the school board approves, and citizens will also be allowed to take their guns to public government buildings, such as libraries and city halls, without permission, which has triggered much confusion. According to the LA Times, about 26% of Americans have no money saved to handle emergencies, showing how badly prepared Americans can be when it comes to emergencies. President Obama is urging business owners and Congress to give additional benefits to employees, such as paid leave to new parents. Obama says they aren't luxuries but necessities. And when you see the prices for daycare, man, you're going to wish you didn't have a child because it's expensive. The watchdog agency in charge of overlooking the destruction of Syria's chemical weapons says the last batch of weapons are on a ship and will be destroyed on Monday. On Tuesday, a hot new bipartisan report reported on the negative effect global warming will have on the economy, outlining that millions of homes and businesses along the coast will be flooded and destroyed. Entire states may lose their agricultural yield due to increased warming, and heat/humidity may grow too intense for prolonged outdoor activities, which will wreak havoc for the tourism industries. Secretary of State John Kerry announced that the ISIS has become such a threat that the U.S. may not have to wait for a new Iraqi government to form before taking military action. An Oregon federal judge ruled that international air travel was a right protected by the Constitution and ordered the government to change the rules of no-fly lists. The reasoning was that air travel is a necessary aspect to liberty needed by members of a free society and not a luxury. The Chicago City Council unanimously approved an ordinance that would place strict limits on gun stores, making them video record sales and restrict one gun a month per purchaser. This ordinance replaces a citywide ban on guns that was declared unconstitutional by a federal judge. These restrictions are an attempt to curb the high amount of violence in the city. On Wednesday, it was reported on the Washington Post that the USS New York has gone dark for over a week and that the low profile may have to do with the transportation of the recently acquired Benghazi suspect Ahmed Abu Khatala. North Korea has called the film The Interview an act of war and a plot to assassinate Kim Jong-un, throwing multiple threats to the Obama administration. This obviously further harms our not so great relationship with North Korea. A unanimous vote with the Supreme Court ruled that privacy rights apply to technology such as phones, and that the police must acquire a warrant before searching anyone's phone. A 2-to-1 decision by the panel of U.S. Court of Appeals for the 10th Circuit upheld a decision made by a lower court that said Utah's constitutional amendment banning same-sex marriage could not stand. They cited the 14th Amendment as a reason for the decision, citing that the government shall not deny two persons the right to get married, as all citizens have equal protection under the law. On Thursday, the Washington Post posted that the economy shrank 2.9% in the first quarter of 2014, mostly due to weak exports, weak inventories, unexpectedly weak healthcare spending, and the harsh winter. The article goes into further detail. The Supreme Court on Thursday unanimously struck down a Massachusetts law that barred protests, counseling, and other speech near abortion clinics. The law, enacted in 2007, created a line by which people were to stand behind if they were protesting the abortion clinic, a buffer zone. The law was passed in order to protect those who were getting an abortion from harassment and violence. The Supreme Court ruled unanimously Thursday that President Obama exceeded his constitutional authority in making high-level appointments in 2012. So what happened was that Obama wanted to make appointments, but the Senate was in an attempt to prevent Obama from making appointments, was holding pro forma sessions every 3 days. But Obama made the appointments anyway, acting on his power to fill in vacancies while the Senate was in recess. The Supreme Court said that was a no-no because the Senate claimed to be in session and hence presidents can't do that. Iraqi witnesses are coming to Washington in the coming months to testify against Americans who they say fired wildly on unarmed citizens, leaving 17 Iraqis dead in the Blackwater shootings of 2007. The Obama administration asked Congress on Thursday to authorize $500 million in direct U.S. military training and equipment for Syrian opposition fighters. A New York appeals court ruled that the city's health board, which had approved the mayor's effort to limit the size of soda drinks, exceeded the scope of its regulatory authority, infringing on powers that belong to the New York City Council.